Hello, today I want to talk about Bob Jones' video homeschool for first grade, math and English. All right, so I don't think it's actually called English. I think it's like language arts or language or, yeah, I don't know. I'm sure on the title I'll have what they actually call it, phonics maybe, but it is phonics, English, reading, handwriting, you know, all of that. And then math is just math. So let's go ahead and start with math because it does not have as much to it. I really like the videos. They're short and sweet, not too short. They're about 20-ish minutes, sometimes a little longer, sometimes a little, well, they're usually not less than 20, but around the 20-ish mark. And they're pretty entertaining. My kids enjoy watching them. They don't really get tired of them. I mean, we all have days where we're like not feeling it, but for the most part, they enjoy watching them. It comes with a lot of things that you would need for it, like when they do the counting and they use like the blocks, it has like paper ones. I went ahead and bought actual blocks. They make to show like how you can make a group of 10. So like moving from the ones column to the tens column, and she puts the blocks together. And my kids like to be as much like her as they can be. But they do provide like all of the stuff that you really need for the most part in the packet. I was going to show you just a little bit about the book. So this is the math first grade book. And it's really colorful and fun. This is kind of more towards the beginning, just real simple. This is lesson 13, so pretty early on. And then here is lesson 55 is about time. And then let's go towards the end here. So here we have not gotten here yet. So this is lesson 103. And so the lesson and the days are a little off on the video. I'll show that here in a minute. But here is what this looks like. So the book's really colorful and fun. They really enjoy looking at them. Here's just another. So let me show you towards the very end so you kind of see where they end. Yes, so here's kind of at the very end. It looks like it ends with 3-digit adding and subtracting. And I know that is kind of where they come in for second grade. And then, so this folder's mine, but you get paperwork like this, and it just shows, so the day, and then it has like what video, and that's what I was saying is a little different. So your video that you're on is not always the same as the day, because on like test days, that's a lesson day, but there's no video. And since we don't do the tests, we just skip over that and keep going. I do test my older kids, but my younger two, I don't give them tests because I'm sitting right there with them doing the work. So I know what they understand and what they don't understand. And I just don't feel like there's a need to have a test right now, because that's kind of just to show you how they're doing. But in a way, I guess every single work page that they do is a test, because I'm able to see if they got it or not. But yeah, okay, so then it has the assignment and just information for you. But there, that's what it looks like. And then I always just check off when we have completed that. It's just the easiest way for me to keep track of where we are. And I also kind of use this as a way to keep my records for our state, so that like I keep another thing that shows our hours, and then I check off this as like my lesson plan. So I check off for each lesson plan we do. Then they also provides an answer key for all of the pages, which you probably really don't need with the first grade, but it's there if you want it. And then this is like, here, let me see. Let me find a page we haven't gotten to yet. So just things like this that the teacher uses while doing the video class. She'll have a paper like this, and then she usually has instructions for what to do while they're doing it. Something like this is probably like if they answer the math fact correctly, they get to like go to the next section or something like that. And it has like a calendar print off, which I'm sure they will use together. Let's see. Yeah, here's like some other type of activity. And those are all things that they'll do together while watching the video. All right, so that's the BJU's video, first grade. I will try and insert some video right here of them actually watching the math class. All right, let's talk about English. So the English comes with a whole lot more books. You get the Phonics 1 practice book. You get the Phonics and English work text. You get a whole bunch of readers. This is just one. There's like a whole bunch of them. And then there's like an extra reader that they do extra things in, but I just brought one to show you kind of the general idea. And then you have the handwriting book. All right, and this is all on one video. And this video is a lot longer than the math. It's about an hour, but it is broken up into these little sections. So, all right, sorry, it's stormy outside and my phone just alerted that there was like a tornado warning. So I was just checking that out to make sure I didn't need to do something. I think we're good though. I'm really surprised because it's really cold. So I don't know, I would not have thought tornado, but all right, sorry, going back to this. All right, so they start each lesson with handwriting, or not handwriting, but like writing yourself, like story writing. So it's really kind of neat. I like the English because it's kind of everything in one in some ways. So she starts out telling something that's like historical or scientific. So you could totally count this as science or history. Now they do have a science and history for first grade, I think. Actually, I don't know about that. The science and history we did was actually the second grade. So now that I'm thinking about it, I don't know if they have it for first grade or not. I'll have to double check on that. But she starts out, so like she talked about the history of bicycles and how bicycles came about. And then for a while she talked about like modes of, like, was just, I guess, same area, modes of transportation. She talked about hot air balloons and cars. For a while she talked about cowboys, and they talked all about what cowboys do, what they wear, what they eat. Let's see, what else? Weather. I think right now they're talking about weather. And like how the seasons change and how snow is made. And so I really enjoy this. So the first section is almost like a history/science lesson. And then she uses that for composition. That's the word I was looking for, on how to write. So she'll be like, okay, now let's write a story about the time that you played in the snow, and uses that to move into the composition time. We sometimes write our compositions. Sometimes I decide to skip this because the first grade can get a little long, since one of my kids doing it, he has to do like every little thing and just the way they do, and we can only go so far. So sometimes to shorten the day a little, we might skip the composition and maybe add that in later, or like if we're waiting at like if we're waiting on the older two at a class or something like music class, then maybe we'll do composition then. So we don't always do it exactly with them, but we do always watch the composition time because I think it's very educational, even if you don't end up doing the writing part. If you can get the writing part done though, I think that's great too, because I do think that is a needed skill. Okay, so then it moves into phonics time, and that is when you will be using these two books. And this, she just goes over phonics and English, and this is probably the longest section of the video. And just, so I'll just show you a little bit. So this is kind of where it started out. This is lesson 11. And it starts out fairly simple. Here's lesson 19. And then she teaches for quite a while. They do what they called service words, which when I was a kid, we called them sight words. So I don't know what you would call them, but words that you can't really sound out. You just kind of have to know. So they do teach like that. Okay, let's move in. So this is lesson 91. It's kind of hard to see what they're doing here, but this is what that looks like. So by the time they reach there, they do need to be a decent reader. I will say though, 2 of my kids are doing this together. My one son is older, and I will have to do another video. He's special needs, and so he is doing first grade with my actual first grader, and it is perfect for him. He is right on. He is picking it up really great. The reading is moving a little fast for her, my actual first grader, but she's getting there. So I just have to assist her a little bit in the reading, but I think it's starting to click. So I think by the time we start second grade, she's going to be right where she needs to be. But I say all that just to say, depending on, you know, if it clicks or not for your child, somewhere here in the middle, it might start to get a little challenging for them, and you might have to help, but it's okay because all of my kids have been slow readers. My older 2, it didn't really click with them until about the middle of second grade, I would say. And they are both very good readers now, and advanced in some areas. So like, don't worry about it. Okay, so let's move a little further. Okay, so this is lesson 116. We are on lesson, I think, like 105 or so, and they're talking about opposites and, the ooh, O sound. That's what they're kind of talking on, is the ooh sound. So that's kind of where they are. Okay, let me show you where it ends. So this is lesson like 160. And then, so just a lot of just reading. They have just started here. We're again like lesson 100-ish. Started talking about when you should capitalize things. So if that kind of helps. All right, so that's the work text. The practice book is kind of the same thing. It's just a little more maybe activity-ish. And it's kind of like review. So since both of my kids are doing the first grade, when we started first grade, I did not plan on them both doing the same. I planned on my one child doing an older class because he is older. But when it was obvious that older class was not working for him, I moved him down and he was doing great. So I actually split these 2 books since they're similar enough, and this is his book and this is her book. Next year, now that I kind of know more like what we're doing with this, I will just order double of everything so that they both have their own. But I guess I was saying that to say, if you only wanted to do one of these books and not do both, that would totally be fine too. I would say if you were if you are going to do one, the work text and maybe not the practice. The practice is a little simpler, which is also why I have her doing it and not him, because I wanted him to have the more challenging. And this is actually still challenging for her since she's struggling a little with reading. But like, this is lesson 105, and they're just trying to figure out, like, is it, or are, and you circle, and that's more her speed. It's like me saying horse and then her trying to figure out, is that OR or ER? Where the other one might have horse and you just have to fully write out horse on your own. So this one's a little simpler. And both my kids think this one's more fun because it has more coloring pages. But that's kind of the way this one is. Okay, so that is like the phonics English section. Then it will, after that section, they go into handwriting. And this is the handwriting book. And it starts out pretty simple and basic, just writing, practicing your letters. Then it moves, so this is lesson 49, into more like this. And then this is like lesson 120, so it's gonna kind of get more like that. Just pretty basic handwriting. This is a really short section of the video, probably the shortest section. She just kind of goes over like how to hold your pencil. They review the alphabet. They might review a sound or two, and then they kind of go over just like how you write the letters. And then the actual writing it in the book is usually kind of like, she's like, pause the program, and then they do that. All right, and then the last section is reading. And this is the 4th reader that they're in. So they move fairly quickly. And this is kind of just the way the beginning of the book looks and the level it's at. So here's kind of, this is where they were like today. And then here's kind of more towards the end of the book. And I really like the way they do the reading. So she will have, they do it a little bit different each time to keep it interesting. But she'll maybe like highlight, so she has the book too, and it'll be up on the screen, and they'll like highlight this paragraph, and she'll be like, pause the program and read the paragraph. And then they pause it and they read it out loud. And then you start the video again, and then she'll read the paragraph. Usually, sometimes she doesn't read it out loud, but a lot of times she'll read it out loud then herself, and then they talk about it. And I really like this because it really helps with the comprehension, understanding what you read. So, you know, she'll be like, what color were they? Do you remember? And then she'll be like, let's look back through. And they'll like reread the sentence to find the color. And she'll be like, oh, what did she say to mom? Did she say yes or did she say no? And so it really helps just kind of, by the time she's done, they definitely know what that paragraph said. And then she does it in all different ways. Sometimes she has like a puppet friend with her. Sometimes she has an actual other child with her. Sometimes it's just her. Sometimes she's dressed in a really fun outfit that goes along with the theme. And then I just remembered after this reading section, they do like a reading activity page. We do not do this section. It's just a short little thing at the end. But I just decide not to do it. Sometimes it's stuff that we kind of do on our own. Like they're like, get Play-Doh out and make, you know, like whatever they read about, like how Sally was baking a cake. Get Play-Doh out and pretend you're baking a cake or something like that. And that's just kind of like our everyday play. So I just didn't feel like we needed instructed playtime like that. I felt like we could do that on our own. So I just go ahead and once we're done with this, I just go ahead and stop the video. There is some kind of a workbook that just pushes that reader comprehension a little bit more, which we also chose to not do. I just felt like it wasn't necessary. After everything we did with this, I felt like they were picking it up just fine with just this. So there is that extra, and I should have brought it back here. I forgot it. I'm sorry. But that you can do with it if you wanted that. All right, so that is first grade math and English/language. I hope that helped. It give you a nice little overview. I will add a video of them doing the language class right here. All right, guys, so overall, I have really, really, really loved this program. It has been a lifesaver. I had been not doing the video school, which I love that too, but it has just been too hard with me in the season of life that I'm in to plan out everything that I need to do and then actually get the stuff done. So the video school has been great for us because I am able to turn it on and assist them while they are doing other things, while I'm doing other things. So like I can kind of just be there watching it, reminding them, hey, listen to that, answer her question, open your book while I'm like doing the dishes or while I'm baking something or, you know, anything like that I'm needing to do, but it's in the room with us. So it has been great because I'm able to get everything done that I need to while homeschooling them at the same time. So it's been great. I also love it because they go over so many different learning styles. So like with the math, they'll do like a hands-on thing. They'll do memorization. They do different ways of working the problem, it kind of covers like every learning style. So whatever your kid's learning style is, most likely will be covered in there. And so one of the things they do, it's going to click with them, and then they're going to be like, oh, I get this. And then they'll probably just always do that. So like in the math, when she shows a different way of doing the problem that caters more towards a different learning style, I can tell my kids are like, what? And I'm like, that's fine. You can keep doing it the way you're doing it, which is a different style that she had shown like the day before. And I just, remind them, these are just all different ways that you can do this. And it's really helped because, my learning style is not necessarily my kids' learning style. And so it's really nice that she shows all the different ways, because a way that to me I'm like, well, that doesn't make any sense, why would they do it that way, has really worked for like the kids. So yeah, it's just been really great. I've really enjoyed it. It's been so fun. And my kids don't, for the most part, complain about having to do it. They enjoy the classes, they like the teachers. So yes, I highly recommend doing the BJU video school or online school. I can't remember exactly what they call it. And you can, by the way, do it online, or you can do it with a DVD. We do a mixture of both. My older kids just do it online. My younger kids, we use a DVD. So yes, I hope this helped. If you have any questions, I'll be happy to try and answer them. You can just drop those down below. Be sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe if you want to see more like it. I will see you all in my next video. Bye.